Welcome to another episode of the Banner Report podcast, starring Cody Adams and Steve Crowley.
I didn't realize how good Lee White was.
The entire fourth
all-star.
My inspiration has been Derrick White. I want to be Derrick White.
That's the perfect teammate you want, you know. And
Four in the shot clock. White.
Couldn't be more proud of a player. When he first came, I don't think he believed he belonged in the NBA. His confidence has just exploded.
White, the straightaway three. Derrick White is him.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Banner Report podcast, starring your hosts, Jacob, Steve, and me, Cody Adams. We are coming to you after a month hiatus. A lot of stuff went on. It was the holidays. Personal events happened. And I went to the game last weekend where we were about to film, and Jacob, you're going to the game tomorrow. So things came up, and we took a little bit of a month break here, but we're coming to you live on January 18th, 2024, exactly a month since our last episode. Happy New Year. Happy belated MLK Day. Happy Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, all that stuff. Celtics, they didn't take a beat. They didn't miss a beat at all. They're 32-9, the league best record. How do we feel, boys, about this team in the past month? What have we seen? What are some of the positives you've taken away?
I don't know if we can find any positives with this team. I don't know if they're going to be that good going forward. I mean, on a 64 win pace. I mean, Jesus Christ. 20-0 at home.
Doesn't this feel like one of the only years where the media hasn't just picked us apart? Because there's really not much to shit on us about. Maybe when Jason Tatum does bad sometimes at the end of games, sometimes, but this year I feel like there's not even been much cynical stuff going on.
Yeah,
fun to talk about.
The only criticism you can really make of this team, the only thing that's really gonna, I think, hold us back from championship is the potential of injuries, but that can happen for any team. This team is they're playing on another level. They remind me of the 2008 Celtics, 7-8 Celtics with the first year Garnett and Allen when they won the championship. They're gonna win it. God willing, they're just gonna win it. I think tomorrow will be a really good litmus test of where they're at, because they're gonna play the Nuggets, obviously the defending champions, and probably the team you'll seek out of the West. But the way Tatum's playing, the way Jaylen Brown's playing, Derrick White has taken a step up. Drew is just as solid as ever, and Kristaps, if he's healthy, he's a complete game changer. It's just, when you're getting play like that from your two best players in Jaylen and Jason, this team is a force to be reckoned with, I think.
Yeah, Drew, I think, had 3 straight 20-point games. I mean, he had 22 in back-to-back games with Porzingis being out one, Jaylen being out another. I mean, it's just such a luxury. It's all right, you just lost a top 2 or 3 player on your team. It's oh yeah, no, we still got Drew Holiday that can just go get you some buckets tonight instead. Or, Derrick White had a 31-point game earlier this year. The luxury of just everybody on that starting lineup being able to give you 30 in any given night is just, there's not another team in the league that has that. Every team in the league has at least one guy in their starting lineup who's not an offensive neutral, I would say, or an average offensive player. We don't have that on this team.
Yeah, I'd say. And so it's something that I think I've really just taken away this past month, and I don't know how to put it into words, but it really does feel like Jason Tatum has taken a step forward. He's different than he was last year. And it's hard to explain because the numbers are similar besides the rebounds. It just feels like when he's taking these crazy circus threes, and they're just cash. You can't miss those. We could talk about future MVP, who's going to be the MVP of this year, and he probably doesn't have the counting stats to beat out Jokic or Embiid. But I think I like my odds with him being a serious MVP contender this year.
I mean, I agree completely. I mean, I don't think Embiid's even going to be in the running because you can only miss 5 more games, and
True.
I bet Jokic does that too. Because I think honestly, I honestly I would see it as a lot of character growth if Embiid doesn't really try for the MVP and thinks for the playoffs. Like I'd actually, I'd love that. It mean he. I mean, I don't want as a Celtics fan, but as like a one watcher of basketball, I'd like if Embiid stops caring about the MVP so much because it's kind of annoying. Um, I'd like if he just gives it to the playoffs, and then like Jokic seemingly has. Like I think Jokic is going to repeat basically what he did last year and just kind of coast the last quarter. So honestly, I think it's going to come down to like Shea in Tatum
Luca.
and Luca. Basically, like I don't know if the thing is I don't know if the Mavs are going to have the record, but Tatum, if we're clearly number one in the East like this, number one in the league record wise, and Tatum's this good. If Shea doesn't have the Thunder in the top two in the West, I don't really see how they put Shea over. Like I think Tatum really could win MVP if the bigs play themselves out of it, basically, which I think they can.
I mean,
Yeah.
I think Boston's gonna have the record. Obviously, like we're gonna have, well, assuming there's no injuries, we're gonna probably have the best record in the league this year, and we're gonna have the record, but Tatum's not gonna have the numbers. Like his
Yeah.
numbers are gonna be diminished because of how many other guys on this team can go get theirs.
His numbers
And
aren't bad though. What is he like 30-9 and like 6 or 7? Like
he's
he's
like, I think he's 27 or 28,
oh,
and
27.
he's not at the 30 mark this year. Um, but Shea's numbers are going to be stupid because he's just going to take that team over, and that's his team. Luca's numbers are always going to be crazy. So it all guess depends on the narrative of the voters. You know, like are we going to vote for the best player on the best team because that's Tatum? Are we going to vote for the guy who was most valuable to his team because that would be Luca or Shea? If Embiid and Jokic obviously aren't in the running.
Do you think the fact that the narrative, I mean, if it is the narrative, and it is a narrative, a heavy narrative award, otherwise Jokic would have been a triple three-peat. But
Well, it would have been LeBron for like 10 straight years at one point. So
true,
it wasn't
true
a
that.
narrative-based award.
Right up
Yeah.
until it literally would have been like Giannis. It would have been LeBron up until Giannis,
We also
basically.
can't forget about Giannis. We just sort of excluded him out of this conversation, but he's sneaky having an amazing year. Not sneaky. I mean, they're in second place in the East. They're in a good spot with him.
Yeah.
But do you think the fact that he's the only American born that's probably going to factor into the calculus, especially with all this last offseason, this international FIBA stuff, this whole discourse surrounding American based basketball? I wonder if that's
I
going
don't
to
know,
be the
I don't know if
edge.
that'll affect it. I think it's interesting, but I don't think it'll affect it too much.
I
Um,
think I think one narrative thing that could come into play is just the fact that they had like a dirt like they had like a early they kind of have been voting stats guys in a lot recently. That's been kind of like what they've been doing mostly for the last like 5 years, honestly. Like it's been honestly all stats. Like we haven't really seen like a traditional best guy on the best team for a bit, right? And I
Jokic, I
mean,
feel like Jokic and Giannis when were winning.
well, wasn't I think the argument against Jokic was that he won like and he was like third or fourth. Like we haven't had like someone with discounted stats on just because they're like the one seed in a bit, honestly, that I can
Yeah.
remember. Like who would that be? I can't like I don't really it's been all like the craziest stats, honestly, on like a top you have to be at least top four seed, but like we haven't really seen one that like their main argument was that the fact that they had like the best record in a bit since like maybe like Curry. I don't even know. Like if we're like so clearly above everyone and like Embiid and Jokic aren't out of it, I don't think Shea's numbers are gonna be that much crazy higher, like maybe 2 points per game more, not even.
I think
I
they
don't know.
might
I
even
feel
take a
like
dip. I think they're going to trade or maybe make a move. Well, Siakam was the guy I was thinking that could maybe fit them, but you never know.
but I'm just thinking like Embiid's flame out last year, like maybe that turns it back into like why don't we actually just reward winning basketball and like not get fucked over by like our MVP losing in the second round again. Like
Then I think it's going
maybe
to be
they're like, let's
Giannis.
reward the best player on the best team again because we haven't done that in a bit. If anything, they've been like valuing like the shouldering of the load type aspect more than like best player on the best team recently.
Hmm.
Yeah, Shea right now is averaging 31, 6, and 6. Luca's averaging 33 and a half, 8, and 9. Like that's just dumb numbers.
But
I think
what are the Mavericks' record right now?
it's not great. But they also have been dealing with a lot of injuries. So I think if they can be healthy, I think that they're gonna be a little bit.
Mavericks are in seventh place. They're 24 and 18.
Hey, they're ahead of the Lakers, so it's always
The
fun.
West is fun in general.
Yeah, the West is a slaughter fest. It's like
It's like what the
everybody's gonna kill
hell?
each other. Like the Clippers are in fourth place and they're pretty good this year. Like the Pelicans are in fifth place, which is shocking to me.
The Clippers could end up being like in the Western Conference Finals, and it'd make a lot of sense, which is kind of crazy.
They can make the finals, to be honest. Like that
Yeah,
team
they
playing
really.
great together. I was completely wrong. I need to go find a place that'll sell me some crow to eat on that one because I thought that James Harden was gonna fucking implode that team, but I was
I don't think
completely
you were the
wrong.
only one.
He really stepped up as a third option as a phenomenal facilitator for that team to really get the ball moving for him.
No, I was pretty damn negative on that too. I mostly just because I doubted I doubted like Russ and Harden's ability to like have one of them step down, and Russ has stepped down like heavily. So that's what I doubted. Like I doubted it was almost like they have like two veterans that are like vying for like they're both saying like I'm better than everyone's saying at the same time. Like I was just thought that was gonna be a recipe for disaster. But like it seems like Russell actually kind of ate crow and like kind of is like okay with 20 minutes per game, which is kind of crazy.
And
Um
we'll see how they go because their issue is a big man, and Zubac just went down, I think, for an extended amount of time. So, and I don't know if has Plumlee played at all.
he just is because of injury. And I saw that you can kind of shack a Mason. I mean, hack a Mason. I did the opposite. You can
Yeah,
hack a Mason. Like he's bad at free throw shooting, so that's bad in the playoffs.
yeah,
The other backup center is Daniel Tice, right?
I think
Yeah, it
so. Yeah,
is.
So, I mean,
Dude, I saw
serviceable, but not a playoff level um, front court. That's for sure.
Dude, I saw Jalen Williams because I was watching the Thunder Clippers, which is wicked entertaining. But I saw Jalen Williams try to end Tice's life. Like Tice fouled him, but it was like I almost had like PTSD from the Celtics days where he would just like he does try for everything, and I loved him for it. Like I never really knock people like I dunked on all the time, but like damn, like it's nice to see him on another team getting like almost just like crucified. You're not as stressed because
he's
it
been on
sucks
a
if
few
your guy's getting
posters.
dunked on.
Yeah.
Giannis, I think, is fucking posterizing him about 100 times in the seasons he played over here.
But I mean, all this talk about the Western Conference and who's in the Eastern Conference, and we'll talk about it a little bit more. But to circle back to the Celtics, 20 and 0 at home, the streak is catching a lot of steam. I mean, what do we think about that? Do we think it's going to continue? Do we think they're going to go all the way and never lose a game at home? On God forbid we lose one in the playoffs. You know,
I don't think you're gonna end up doing 41 and 0 at home. That's pretty wild. I
they're
think
catching on. You can bet on it in
I think
certain spets.
40 and 1, I think, is the best record at home ever. I think that like the Celtics did in the 60s at one point. Um, 41 and 0 in this NBA is just, I don't think it's possible with 3-point shooting and the variances that go through every night. I don't see anything slowing us down at home. Like I don't see anything slowing us down in the league right now. So I mean, there's definitely a shot at it. But
Did the 2008 Celtics go 39 and 1 at home? The Kevin Garnett Celtics?
I have no idea. It would have had to been 39 and 2, but
Oh,
Yeah, I
39 and 2,
forget.
yeah.
if it was 39 wins anyways. But it's, I don't know, 41 and 0. I mean, hey, that would be a hell of a way to send Mike Gorman out.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it would. It's cool. You can bet on it. We'll see. I don't. It could be one of those situations at the end of the year where we have such a lead in the first seed, like that. You have starting five of Peyton Pritchard, Sam Hauser, like
Steve
Nemus,
Mihailuk.
Nemus Keita, Svi Mykhailiuk, like yeah, and Luke Cornett is the best player on the floor at times. So you could see, and you lose to like
Hey,
a team that's on the verge, like the Pacers.
last time the Celtics started, Peyton Pritchard, 30-point triple double. So
True that. We are loaded.
that was a
And
hell of a game to watch him hunt that triple double the whole fucking fourth quarter. He was fucking, he had wide open layups. He was like, no, I'm gonna try and dump this off to the center in the middle now.
This this streak really makes me just really want to hold on to the first seed. That's for sure. It'll be lovely to feel this good about our home games when we enter to the playoffs as a 1 seed.
Yeah, this place was rocking I went to the Rockets game. Ime Udoka's return. Weirdly enough, I didn't hear the boos. I didn't hear the. Apparently, there's been a lot of reports of the tepid response. I didn't hear a ton of boos for him. I mean, I don't think we should have booed him. I mean, maybe you should have. I don't know, but
It'd be punching down, honestly. Like we're doing really
yeah,
well, and the Rockets are on like a team on the rise. It's not like he went to a contender in the West.
yeah.
Narratives don't seem to be bothering the Celtics this year with stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, this is like a lot of times, like, oh, this is a trap game. Like, we're supposed to lose. Like, it's a game that, like, all right, your fifth game in 7 nights or whatever, and it's your first game back at home after a long road trip, and like that's a trap game, and like they don't lose those games, and like the games where like Ime comes back, they don't lose those games. Like all the different narrative stuff, like they're kind of just above it this year, which is great to see. That's a sign of experience and maturity in that one.
I
Yeah,
also think we're just a squad of good spirited fellas too.
All the vibes are immaculate.
Like
The
we just have
playing
nice guys
quick
on our
is
team.
unbelievable.
Like it's incredible actually. If you think top down, you're like, wow, I actually would love to have a beer with everyone on this team.
Yeah,
definitely. The only one who ever had, and it was mostly last year with the Kyrie Irving situation. The only one who has sort of bad vibes was Jalen.
Yeah.
Sort of. But I think he's a great teammate to play with. And I do think he's a guy I would definitely love to have a conversation with and talk to.
Yeah.
You know what's wild too is that he was like 23. So like he's also just really young and he can just
Wait, Jalen Brown's 23?
Well, I mean, like a year or so ago. Isn't he like 25 now? So I don't know. He's like,
Makes sense. Jason Tatum's 19.
yeah. I mean, like he was. I think what? So Jalen must be. If it was last year, it was 24. He was 24 or something.
He's 27. Yeah, he's
Oh,
27.
Jalen?
Jalen Brown's 27. Yeah,
Oh,
he's
okay.
older than Tatum's
Tatum?
26, 25.
Yeah, he turns 26 in March, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes more sense then. But still, I mean, he's still younger than me. That's what I always kind of. I mean, no, he's not, but Tatum is. But yeah, they're young dudes, so they can kind of just say dumb stuff sometimes. But generally, I think that
It's
generally
tough.
think they're
You're
pretty good
growing
when
up
they're good.
in the limelight. Like it's not a normal thing for the entire world to be looking at you on a
Yeah.
night-to-night basis.
And that's
While
why
you're
LeBron
still
James is like
earning.
the best career of all time.
Yeah, like he never had anything go on outside of the basketball court.
Yeah, I don't really get LeBron being squeaky clean this long. Like he's not even gotten like drunk and like he's not even really had like embarrassing moments, which is crazy. Like
The only thing was when he like liked big oiled booties on Instagram once. That was it. And I think there's some issue. He's with the China issue a few years ago. He just didn't speak on it, which I can't blame him for that.
Lose on that one.
It really is. Yeah. What is he gonna say? Honestly.
Speaking of loaded teams and talent, the All-Star game, the All-Star push is happening. Jalen and Jason were in it last year. Jason was the MVP of the All-Star game, but I think he broke the points record.
Yeah, it's 60-something points or something like that.
Obviously, this team you can make probably a cogent argument for all 5 guys to be on the Celtics roster to be in the All-Star game, but obviously somebody's getting left out, and it's not going to be Tatum. So, what do we think? What do we think would be a good? What's a success for the Celtics team in terms of the All-Star game? Who goes? Who's in? Who's out?
Success would probably be 3 players, I think. I think it would be Jalen, Jason, and I think D White. I mean, that's the big push for D White. I mean, he's been probably the most integral gear almost of this Celtics team. Like he really helps this team go on a night-to-night basis. You stick him out there with the second unit, he runs the whole second unit like it's a charm. His numbers aren't as good, I don't think, as Porzingis' numbers, but I think he's more impactful with what he does on a night-to-night basis, and he might get that coach's decision off of an injury. You know, if Tyrese doesn't play, he might get that call up from the coaches because the coaches have a vote too.
What if it's like? But is he? I don't think he's going to beat out Trae Young.
Well, if it's the coach's decision, the coaches might fucking be like, yeah, I'm tired of that guy bitching and moaning at me the whole fucking night.
But hey, Counterpoint, defense doesn't matter. And obviously Derrick White's a very good defender and Trae Young is one of the worst in the league. So obviously if you take that element out of it, you know. Is Halliburton going to play, by the way?
Not sure.
I think so. It was only it was what he sprained his hamstring,
Yeah,
strained it like a couple weeks ago, and
against the Celtics.
I think it was just like a month time. So I think he's back like even the end of January.
Okay.
I mean, if he does play, I don't think he's going to play much.
Here's I'll give you my starting five who I voted for. I voted for Joel Embiid at center, Tatum at forward, Giannis at forward, Halliburton at point guard, and I really waffled between Trae Young and Derrick White.
I mean, I
And
could see the Trae Young vote, though, because the numbers are always going to be stupid with him.
and honestly, I think Jaylen Brown probably has a better chance of making it than Derrick White.
Yeah, you'd have to have a backup forward spot
Sure.
because he's not breaking through Giannis and Tatum in the forward or Embiid at the center if you're just going to go front court, back court.
Yeah, I wish Brown could be a shooting guard.
He could be.
He's
wasn't-
here as a front court, so I don't know.
I mean, we used to play him at shooting guard, but this year we have Drew and D White, so we don't really play him at shooting guard anymore. We're playing double bigs a lot. We were running him at shooting guard.
Who's your starting five out west?
I have to put. I'm gonna forget people. It have to be Shea, Luca, Jokic. What I got? Two more front court. Or is Luca a guard or a front court player in this?
He's a guard, even though he's 260 pounds and 6'8".
6'8", 2'6". He's like he does play like a guard though.
They're trying to correct themselves because they never did this for LeBron. This is their second go. They're giving him point guard.
I mean, you're gonna get your LeBron obviously because it's
Year
coming
21,
up
if you didn't know
last
that.
seasons. It's the Kobe treatment where it's like he really probably shouldn't have made it, but he's gonna, or the Dwayne Wade treatment even worse. I have one more front court player.
Yep.
Jacob, who am I forgetting? You got a better.
Hey,
Can we
probably
get Anthony
KD.
Edwards at the small forward? Are we allowed to do that?
I think it's a debate between KD and Anthony Davis.
Also, Kawhi, if the Clippers are this good, man.
He hasn't missed any time either.
No, and he's like his numbers are pretty damn good too.
It's just
And
such
it's
a
like-
boring
and
player
he's-
to watch in the All-Star game though.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, he's not someone that anyone was gonna want to draft. That's for sure.
East versus West this year, you don't get a draft, so
Yeah, no, I think it'll probably be KD, but I think Kawhi or like AD could be argued.
1 second, I'm going to share my screen here so we can look at the fan returns. Can you see this? Look, so you get your LeBron, Jokic, Durant, Anthony Davis, Kawhi, Şengün, Paul George, Victor Wembanyama, Chet Holmgren, and Domantas Sabonis in the front court for the Western Conference. The guards, you got Doncic, Curry, SGA, Harden, Kyrie, Anthony Edwards, De'Aaron, Ja, which is how the fuck is Ja Morant in there? Fan
Because
vote.
fan
That's
voting.
such a joke. Yeah. Devin Booker and Austin Reeves. In the well, first of all, do you see anything you disagree with? Obviously, I mean, Ja Morant even being in the top 10 is crazy, but I get it. Why he's in there. He's very
James
popular.
Harden being fourth for guards is, I mean, he's been a good part of this Clippers resurgence, but like Kyrie and like Fox and Booker have been better than James Harden. Also, Shea should be above Curry, but it's
I
the
feel like
All-Star-
SGA being below Curry is the
it's
Bron.
just kind of the same as Braun being number one. It's like, yeah, legacy. He's just on top of people's brain. One thing that, yeah, I don't know. It all makes sense, but I disagree with it, but it makes sense.
I mean, in the East, having Jimmy Butler above Jaylen Brown is wild.
Yeah, Jimmy's like not played that much.
He hasn't played like at
how
all
about
this year.
Embiid being over Tatum? You're telling me Joel Embiid plays a more enjoyable brand of basketball than Jason Tatum? No
Oh, if
way.
you're just looking at numbers, that's what people
Yeah, I
look
think
at.
that's just numbers.
Like people don't watch every night; they just look at box scores. And they say, "Oh,
They
Embiid
do.
had 33 and 15 last night, and Tatum had 28 and 7."
It's a villainous 33 though. He's really hurting the pace of the game with every point. He's it's the same as James Harden in my brain. He's like gonna go down as one of the best in his position, but I'm gonna just kind of remember it as also a player that I didn't necessarily like watching live because he did it kind of in an unfun way.
How about
Third,
Dame being third on the East?
third in guards.
I don't
I
like
mean,
that.
he should probably be. He should be third, but I think that it should be probably maybe it should be fourth. I think Brunson and Maxey should be ahead of him. I don't think Trey Young should be ahead of him though.
Trey Young's having like sneaky one his best year.
Yeah, he's been good actually.
Yeah,
Has he been that good this year? I haven't been paying
He's
attention.
he's averaging like 30 and over 10.
yeah. I'd
The Hawks have
argue
not been good though.
Dame should be 8. Like he should be moved all the way down to 8. I don't think he's better than any of the guards that come behind him. Besides, I mean, you can probably make an argument for Derrick right now. Right now, I'll just say right now. Maybe he'll get better, but you can make an argument for Jalen Brunson and Derrick White, but I don't think he's been better than Mitchell or Maxey at all. And I don't think that's an argument.
No, Donovan Mitchell's definitely making it as also, yeah. Cleveland needs one player at least.
Huh. Interesting. We'll see how it goes, and hopefully next week we'll have more of a picture of it. But I think realistically, it's just we'd have a hard time getting 2 in. Tatum's obviously in, but
Realistically, we should have 2. It should be Jalen.
we should have 3.
Yeah, like realistically, we should have 2. Now we can.
I think we're having, I think
three.
we'll have 3. I think we'll slide someone in the injury replacement. We'll have 2 voted in and then replacement guy.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking if Halliburton or somebody didn't play.
Speaking of the Eastern Conference and moves being made and All-Stars, Pascal Siakam is on the move. The Pacers add him. They trade Bruce Brown, Wakefield's finest, and Jordan Moore, and 3 first-round picks. Pretty steep price for Pascal. But what do we think about that move? Does this? I mean, obviously the Raptors, they traded OG Anunoby, the infamous 4 first-round pick guy or whatever the hell they said, for Emmanuel Quickly and RJ Barrett. So they're in full tank mode. But does this move the needle on the Pacers?
I don't think it does that much. I mean, you added 1 defensive player to a team that doesn't play defense. Like, it doesn't really do much. I mean, he fits in nicely. I mean, he likes to play with pace, and obviously Tyrese Halliburton likes to play with pace, and they just got real big on the front line, but I don't think that really makes a splash in the long run. I think that you're still a second-round exit in the playoffs when you face the Bucks or the Celtics or even the Sixers in the second round.
I mean, say that, but like, what a win of a year.
Yeah.
Oh, for the Pacers, it's a great year for the Pacers.
That's what I mean.
I'm
Yeah,
not say anything bad about that. Yeah, but I mean, it doesn't make them a title contender or anything.
No, but I do think it makes them better, like a decent amount better. I think Siakam is sneaky. I mean, he can't shoot, but he's having the best year. I think you said we have it here. He has had the most points in the paint, right?
Yeah,
he's like
entire career.
From 3,
I poached it from the JJ Pod said that he's leading. He's like he's best. He's like leading the league in transition field goal percentage, and he's had the most dunks and layups of his whole career, and like most points in the paint. And that I get like him individually, he's had the best year, and then I guess the Pacers are leading the league in that as a team. So it's like kind of like they're sliding the best player at that thing, not the best, but the most efficient, and the person who does it the most into the system that does that the most. It's kind of, I mean, the defense problem will still be. I obviously don't think they're like contending, but I think they like if they're like the in that tier that's below contending, they moved probably up to like the top of that. Like I kind of like them more than like the Cavs right now because I just don't trust the Cavs.
Yeah.
Like and I honestly think like them versus the Knicks would be super interesting in the playoffs if they're somehow like 4 or 5. Like they're the two like battling for like the right under the top 3 basically, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree, and I think this adding him overall he improves their defense. He's a very solid defender, or he used to be. at least. And they already have Miles Turner, who's one of the better big defenders in the league, and he moves in pace. And this team is obviously I think they have like the best pace in the league in terms of offense. So and he can slash and he can take it inside and score, and I think that's exactly what they were missing. So I like the move for them. I don't think it makes them a contender. I could see them winning a game or two against the Bucks, but I don't think they they're not going to be the
They're
Celtics.
also gambling too because Pascal's a free agent, is unrestricted free agent after this year, and he said he's not going to resign. So you better be
Yeah,
able to convince him in the next couple months.
true that.
I think part of it is that he wanted to go to Indiana to play with Tyrese. I think he like said that, and that's why he like agreed to the trade or something. Like I think he obviously, yeah, he could definitely leave, but I think it will work out well. And I just don't see how it wouldn't. I think he's gonna love it, honestly. But yeah, I obviously don't think they're contenders now, but I think adding someone like Pascal, who's a vet, who won a chip, and he's only 29, like he's won a chip and he's a vet and he's multiple time All-Star. I feel like that's perfect to add to someone like Tyrese that's like shooting star right now.
Yeah, I think everybody should want in the league should want to play with Tyrese Halliburton.
He's yeah, exactly. I think with getting Pascal, they're a serious threat in the free agency market. There were going to be no free agents this offseason too.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like them trying to do something.
Um, that's about it. There's not we sort of talked around everything. Am I missing anything, guys? Anything else we want to talk about in the league? Obviously, I want to get this right. Shout out to the Warriors. Their assistant coach Dion Milovic passed away at a team dinner. 46 years old, 48 years old. Very regardless, young. Tragic, huh?
Far too young.
Yeah, passed away of I believe a heart attack right at a team dinner. So that sucks. Really, just terrible. Um, and so our thoughts are out with the Warriors and the loved ones of Dion. So
I hope everybody on the Warriors can get all the help that they need to get through this time because it's not easy
yeah,
having something sudden like that happen, especially with somebody that you spend every day with. He's on the team planes and he's at practice with you, and I'm sure he has his own set of players that he helps out every day. So that's tough. I hope
and
they can.
they were a team already going through emotional issues with Draymond and probably going to trade away one of the Splash Brothers. They're not going to trade Curry. They're probably going to trade away Klay Thompson. Is this the end of them? Just sucks. A sucky thing in an already tough year for them. So we'll see. Hopefully things turn around for them. But I don't want to see them in the finals.
I do.
I don't. I definitely don't.
I want that monkey.
I don't think we have
off.
much to worry about, but I wouldn't like to.
Yeah. Let's look ahead at the games real quick. This weekend we have 3 games. Denver on tomorrow at the
Boots on the
Garden.
ground there.
Yep. Jacob's going to be our good luck charm. Let's see if the streak continues. This will be a real test. Then we got New Orleans. Is that New Orleans? I can't read my own handwriting. New Orleans on Saturday and the Mavs on Sunday. So,
Well, that doesn't work.
what do you mean?
You can't play 3 games in a row.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's Monday. I'm tripping. Yeah. Yeah, right. Friday.
Back to
Friday.
back. Baby.
Friday, Denver, Saturday,
I love it.
Sunday, NOLA, and Monday, the Mavs. So
We love it, but the fucking union doesn't love that though.
No.
that's a tough slate. I tell you what, those are all playoff teams. I mean, obviously Denver isn't, the reigning champs, but that's a tough sledding for the season. We'll see.
Excited to play Kyrie. He's on a bit of a roll right now.
Yeah, Luca always kills us, which it's always kind of fun to watch, though. To be honest,
Luka
watching
might still be
that
out.
kid do his shit, it's unbelievable.
What do we think? We gonna sweep?
I want 3-0 on that pretty easily.
I just want the Nuggets. I don't care if we lose the other two. I want the Nuggets game.
None of them match up well with us. It should
Yeah,
be
you're telling me, man.
That's appointment television, man. Jokic.
Jacob's hoping for like a nice 50, 30, 20 game from Jokic and a loss.
Yeah, no, I'm hoping Jokic goes off and I get to see a spectacle and we somehow win, even though he has like the best game of the year for himself or something. So I'm hoping we go to OT and like he gets like his best game ever. And so doesn't Tatum though, so that's why we win.
I just want to just a funny story, and before we go, DeAndre Ayton, the all-time excuse.
was
Sir,
icy.
there's an icy patch. I can't get out.
I can't get to work today.
Also,
That's
I didn't know
hilarious.
it got that crazy there in Portland.
It's crazy everywhere. I mean, Texas
Dude, even
is like,
Texas is getting snow.
Yeah.
They got snowed in. Dallas got snowed in after they lost that fucking playoff game.
He needs to get a heated. I saw that there was a clip that went viral of Connor McDavid saying he has like heated driveway. He needs to
Yeah,
get a heated it needs a heated driveway.
that's a
or just
big
put
thing.
down some goddamn salt. Like, dude.
I mean,
come on.
he's making 20 million a year. You can afford a heated driveway, but
They
salt.
sent people out there to help him get out.
Oh, we lost Steve.
That was actually. I mean, it lasted the whole time. That's fine.
That's funny. Steve couldn't find his laptop charger, so that's why he got cut off. But that was it, anyways. DeAndre, all-time excuse. The Trailblazers ended up winning, so that's a double L for DeAndre.
Goggles, Scoot. I like
Um,
Scoot's goggles.
he got me 2 fantasy points. Oh, we didn't do a fantasy recap. I lost last week.
I beat Steve.
You beat. Wow. Take a
I'm
fucking
I know why he ducked me.
take a fucking lap or a victory lap. Was your geez, you beat Steve.
Yeah, I lost this year. I lost this one to a team this week to a team that is pretty good, but because Embiid literally didn't play the last week, so I was kind of fucked. Like he just didn't. That's why he's out of the MVP contention, is because he literally didn't play last week.
Let's go to last week. Box scores. I lost to Zach Cooter. Shout out to the Cooter man. He beat me. Had a great week. I had a shit week, especially with Halliburton being out. That really kicked me in the teeth. Chungus Chancellors beat Obi topping me off. Steve, you lost to Dan LaMonica. That's sad. Johnny versus Frankie. Billy versus Frankie. Nice win.
Yeah, I lost.
You lost. A close one though. Damn, that's close.
Yeah, and I literally didn't have him beat all week, so it just feels like a robbery.
Yeah, I mean, let's see what we got this week. Let's schedule
I don't think I'm winning right now.
scoreboard. I got Billy.
Oh, I am now.
Steve is losing once again. Chef Dub versus Chungus.
I'm facing Dan.
Facing Dan, you gotta win this one. You basically gotta like win out.
Yeah.
Let's see the playoff the standings here.
I didn't pick a really healthy team this year, which really sucked.
I got a 91% chance of making it. So does Zach.
Oh my God. Do you believe in miracles? Look at mine.
1%. You need everything to go right. Oh man. If I were you, I would just try
It's
and
basically if you don't have a positive record, you're not in.
yeah. Well, Steve's at 1% too. He's pretty screwed.
I like that arc that little arc we have going though. Like if one of us makes it, that's pretty crazy.
That would be nuts. Celtics are gonna make it though.
That's all that matters.
It's all that matters. We're going all the way. I have a really good feeling about this team. We'll see this weekend. Going to be a tough slate of games, but
I'll make it on the Jumbotron tomorrow. I'll do something crazy.
take some pics if you can with the
Oh, yeah, I
Jokic
definitely will.
bros.
I'm definitely trying to find the Jokic bros.
Find him. Just it's going to be impossible to miss him. Just look for fucking 3 giant Slavic dudes, just all
Tatted to
up.
the gills. In jumpsuits, tatted. I think I'll
All right. That's it from us. This has been the Banner Report. That's Jacob. Follow us on our socials. Follow the Pierce Post Up. Follow everything. Follow this page. If you stayed this long, you're a real one. We appreciate you. Stick around for more content as the Celtic season rolls on our quest to the 18th banner. That's it. Have a good night.
Go
Go
Seas.
Seas.